Hey guys, this is Miss Haynes coming to you from quarantine at an undisclosed location. So, my roommate and I had this toaster she brought, and it doesn't work because the bottom, like her old roommate put it on the burner and it got melted. I don't know if you can, how good you can see. Don't mind my broken fingernail. We are under extenuating circumstances right now. So, it doesn't work anymore. And I was going to bring it into class for my students, for you guys to take it apart and reverse engineer it and see if you could figure out why it's broken, or even possibly fix it, or just learn how a toaster works. And reverse engineering is something we were gonna learn this 9 weeks. And it really is about, instead of sitting here and thinking like, I want some hot, crispy bread, how am I gonna do that? And trying to invent a way to do it, you take somebody that already did it and you take it apart and figure out what they did. It's also could be considered copying. Anyways, so I'm gonna start taking this apart. Came off. All right, let's. I think this whole cover is just gonna come right off, so let's see. Still hung on something. Oh, the lever, okay. So it's not coming off because of this, so maybe we can just pull this thing out. Okay, no. Oh, okay, it's on here with a little, show you guys. Okay, so it's being held on here by this little tiny notch. So we're gonna pop that off. If I break a nail, I'm gonna be pissed. Can't be breaking a nail. All right, so. Popped it off. Something else. Okay, the dial, that makes sense. Of course the dial and the buttons are gonna be connected, so let's see. So we've got this. Of course this has to be connected somehow. So in here, try and show you. Okay, that's the other side of this. Okay, so it's connected to this stuff, but nowhere else is it connected to the rest of the toaster except for these little, this right here. So I bet we can just pull this out. One of these parts is meant to detach. Problem is I don't know which part that is, and I don't want to force one and break it, but they're probably all kind of tight right now. Thing is, most appliances like this, they used to be made to be repaired. So they were designed that you could open them up and fix it on your own, because that's what people used to do. Nowadays, people don't fix things. They just throw them away and get a new one. So they're not necessarily designed for you to be able to take it apart at all, right? You might not be able to actually take it apart without breaking it somehow. So I'm trying to see about this. There we go. There we go.
Ah, you got it!
I got it. Okay. There we go. So this is how the controls are connected to the actual toasting apparatus. This is what does work. As you can see, it's dirty. My friend did not clean her toaster. This is circuit board in there. Fancy, huh? Cuisinart, you know. Only the fanciest for me. All right, so now what we need to do is basically figure out the path the electricity is flowing to do the work, and find out if there is a gap in the circuit, because if you know about electricity, you know gap in the circuit, then there's no Electrons, there's no electricity, nothing's happening, everything stops if there's a gap in the wire. So let's find out if the circuit is broken somewhere. So you guys might recognize these little guys. I know y'all know what these are. If you don't know what these are, I'm very upset and I'll feel like I've wasted my life. Just kidding, just kidding. There's a couple other things on here we haven't used before in class. This is right here is a capacitor, so it's connecting through this little guy. Okay guys, so remember what I said about completing a circuit? In this case we can see this is where the button was attached, right? This guy, right? So this is where you push to turn your toaster on and your bread goes down. So how does that turn it on? What's this? What's happening here? So do you see how there's space between these conductive metals? And when you push this down, what happens? What's happened? They're connected. The circuit is complete. It completes the circuit and it starts toasting. So that's how that's working. That appears to be in good working order. Okay, so down here, you can kind of see it should be flat, but it's kind of bubbling up right there because that is where it's melted right underneath here. So when we see that these connect to start the toasting process, we've got the red wires and the white wires coming out. If we follow this wire, we see that it goes here and connects. That connection seems to be intact. It comes back around here, the wire seems fine, and into this, right? That connection seems fine. We can go ahead and hop over here to the white one and follow this back. Again, this seems to be doing all right. Maybe it's just right here. Maybe the rest of it works and it's just not. Maybe it's just this. Although you would think, I would think that it would still be able to send a current of electricity through that, even though it's melted. It's still copper, right? It's still a copper wire. The wire hasn't been cut. It's still intact. I still think it will go from there. So let's see if we can figure out a little more. Unscrew this guy. See what that does. This off. Let's look at these connections. All seem fine. Is it something to do with this? I wonder if we just replace that wire underneath, would that work? These are intact. Just changing from this cord to this cord. This one is the one that, safer one that we see insulated on the outside. Okay, maybe I can take this thing off. Let's see. I don't think we're gonna be able to get this working, and I think it's just because of the wire underneath melted, because nothing else looks wrong in here unless there is a short, but I wouldn't really know how to fix that anyway. Okay. This cord is fine all the way till it comes out. What the heck is going on? Let's rip this off. I mean, we have nothing to lose. Okay. Oh, ripped it off. It's melted, but I mean, it's still there. Don't try this at home, kids. Should have said that first. Don't do this at home. All right. So I wasn't able to fix the toaster. I'm not an electrical engineer. I just really like electrical engineering. Not a mechanical engineer either. As y'all know, I studied biomedical engineering, so it's totally different, but anybody can learn new things, right? And like I said, I didn't fix it, but now I know how toasters work. So hope you guys enjoyed this video.